You just asked an AI a question. You typed it, you tapped send, and an answer appeared. Simple, right? We call it the cloud, like it floats somewhere soft and far away. It doesn't. There is no cloud, just someone else's machine sitting in a very real building. The instant you hit send, your weightless little question turns into a physical event. It shoots down a cable, close to the speed of light, toward a windowless box the size of a town. So what's actually inside that box? That's the part nobody ever shows you. Let's follow your question all the way in. From the outside, it's almost nothing. A giant blank shed, no windows, humming quietly behind a fence. A whole town's worth of building, with hardly a person in sight. Step through the door, and the quiet breaks. Rows of glowing machines stretch further than you can see, blinking in the dark like a city at night. Don't picture a warehouse of computers. Picture one enormous brain, built out of thousands of identical parts, all wired together. And every one of those parts is running hot right now for somebody's question, maybe even yours. Walk up to one rack and meet the thing doing the actual thinking. It's a special chip, first built for video games, now the engine of modern AI. Here's the catch. One of these chips, as mighty as it is, comes nowhere close to running a big AI on its own. So they bolt dozens of them into one unit, then link thousands of units together, with cables faster than anything in your home. And something strange happens. They stop acting like a room full of separate computers and start behaving like a single mind. That one mind can fill an entire building. And for the biggest AIs, even that still isn't enough. So let's go closer, into a single chip, up close. It's really two things married together, a processor that does the math and stacks of ultra-fast memory feeding it. Its real trick isn't being fast. It's doing thousands of tiny sums at the very same moment, which happens to be exactly how AI thinks. These are some of the most complicated objects our species knows how to make. Only a handful of factories on Earth can build them, and everyone wants more. But pack this much power into something the size of your palm, and you get one unavoidable side effect. Heat, a lot of it. How much? A single rack of these can burn more electricity than an entire street of houses, and nearly all of it comes back out as heat. At that point, ordinary fans are just waving warm air around. They simply can't keep up. So the fix sounds a little insane. Engineers run cold liquid in pipes right up against the chips and let it carry the heat away. The extreme version goes further still. Entire servers are sunk into special liquid, gently bubbling away as they work. Which means this place isn't really a computer at all. It's a giant machine for pulling heat out of a building as fast as it pours in. And carrying all that heat has a hidden cost that almost nobody mentions. Water. Many of these sites cool down the same way you do when you sweat. They evaporate water by the truckload to carry the heat up into the sky. One large campus can drink hundreds of millions of liters in a single year, enough to supply a small town. You may have seen scary lines, like one chat costing a bottle of water. Treat those gently. They're rough guesses, and the honest picture is the whole building across a whole year. But in some dry regions, that thirst is no longer a footnote. It is becoming a real fight over water that people need to live. Strip everything else away, and these buildings run on one thing above all: electricity on a scale that is genuinely hard to picture. The largest AI sites are measured in gigawatts. That is the appetite of a small city packed into a single campus. And the power can never, ever flicker. So it flows through private substations, walls of batteries, and backup generators ready to catch a falling grid in a heartbeat. Here's the surprising part. In the best sites, only a sliver of that power is wasted. Almost all of it goes straight into thinking. But where do you even find that much power? Companies are now buying entire power plants and quietly restarting nuclear reactors just to feed their machines. So AI's hunger isn't only a tech story anymore. It is starting to reshape the electricity grid for all of us. Now remember your question. All of this, the brain, the heat, the water, the power, woke up in part for that. And in a sliver of a second, the answer races back up the cable, across the country, into your hand. You felt none of it. The whole roaring industrial event hid behind three calm little dots, blinking the word typing. Here's the twist that changes everything. One building was never really the story. All over the world, We are racing to build hundreds more like it, and each new one is bigger than the last. Which means all of this, the power, the heat, the thirst, multiplied again and again, year after year. And it is a real race. Whoever ends up with the most of these machines may help decide what AI becomes for the rest of us. So next time you tap send, picture it for a moment. Somewhere over the horizon, a building the size of a town quietly lights up, just for you. And the wildest part? This machine is still brand new. We are only at the very beginning, and what comes next is going to be stranger still.